If you do happen to have some type of autoimmune disease like ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, or if you're experiencing something like bloating, gas, belching, indigestion, heartburn, reflux, GERD, fungal overgrowth, or SIBO, then I would definitely encourage you to try something like the HCl Protocol and see if you are producing enough stomach acid. If you are not, this can help to alleviate your symptoms and it can help you get back on the right track and help to improve your health. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in and welcome back to another Carnivore Q&A. Steven here with Team Euphoric, and I have a lot of people asking about indigestion, heartburn, and those types of symptoms. So today we are going to be talking about the importance about stomach acid and why stomach acid matters. The number one reason that stomach acid matters is it's going to help promote the digestion and absorption of many vital nutrients, especially on the carnivore diet. This is going to be very, very important because on a carnivore diet, you are eating a lot of meat, and meat, you do need a lot of stomach acid in order to break down the proteins found in the actual meat itself. So for anybody who is consuming a high protein diet, it's very, very important that you make sure that you are producing enough stomach acid. If you are not producing enough stomach acid, what's going to happen is a lot of times the meat is just going to sit in your gut, it is going to ferment there and it's going to rot, and you're not going to be able to digest and absorb all of the nutrients properly. So you want to make sure you have enough stomach acid. And another thing is HCl, or your stomach acid. It is going to stimulate pepsin production, and pepsin is one of the first enzymes that helps to break down the proteins. Now, if you don't have enough stomach acid, it can lead to things like bloating, gas, belching, indigestion, heartburn, reflux, GERD, or gastroesophageal reflux disease, fungal overgrowth, SIBO, or small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. So you would want to make sure that you are producing an adequate amount. And these are just things that it can lead to. If you do have low stomach acid, it doesn't mean that you are going to get these issues, but there is a high probability that you will develop some of these specific issues. And if you do happen to have low stomach acid, one of the things that you could do is an HCl protocol. And one of the HCl protocols that I've used myself and also with my patients and clients is the one from Dr. Jonathan Wright. This is his HCl protocol right over here. Step 1, you want to take betaine HCl, and typically the dosages of the capsules are going to be around 650 milligrams, and you want to make sure that it has pepsin in it. You want to take it at the beginning of a meat meal. If you're consuming something like eggs, you don't really need to do this. You could skip this protocol right over here, but any meat meal that you are consuming, at the beginning of the meal, you want to make sure that you take a capsule of HCl, betaine HCl with pepsin. And when I say the beginning of a meal, take a bite of your meal, take a pill. That's how you can do it. Step 2, you want to wait and see if any symptoms occur. Typically, either mild heartburn or some type of warm sensation in your stomach. If you end up noticing that, then cancel it right away. You're done with the test. You don't need to take any HCl because you're producing enough stomach acid naturally. However, if you don't experience those types of symptoms, you don't get any mild heartburn, you don't get anything like a warm sensation in your stomach, then you're going to move on to step 3, and you want to increase by 1 capsule after 1 to 2 days. Now, for me personally, I have no patience, so I've always rushed this step right over here. And for me, the next meal I'll increase it if I don't notice it right away. But according to Dr. Jonathan Wright, what you want to do is wait 1 to 2 days and then increase the dosage. What you would do is then step 4, you're going to repeat steps 2 and 3. So let's say you increase to 2 capsules. You want to wait, see if you notice that warm sensation or mild heartburn. If you don't notice it, then after 1 to 2 days, you would continue to do that and keep increasing it by 1 capsule. Once you've ended up increasing it by 1 capsule and you finally notice the sensation, then you would decrease it by 1 capsule, because the sensation that you're feeling, that means that you're taking too much. So you want to decrease it to find your effective HCl dose. So hypothetically, let's say you take an HCl capsule, you notice the warm sensation, you don't need HCl, stop right away. Let's say you take it during your first meal, you don't notice anything. Every meal you do that, after a couple days, you increase it to a 2nd capsule, you still don't notice anything. After a couple days of taking it every single meal, you increase it to 3 doses, and you still don't notice anything with 3 capsules. Let's say by the time you increase it to 4 capsules, you notice that heartburn and you notice that that warm sensation in your stomach. Then you know that 4 capsules is too much. So you would decrease it down to 3, and that is going to be your effective dose. And you would keep doing that until you notice that that warm sensation starts to come after 3 capsules. So let's say you decrease it to 3 capsules because that is your effective dose. And after doing that for 2 to 3 weeks, you notice the warm sensation. Then you would decrease it to 2, and you would continue to do that until you are at absolutely 0 capsules. Now, the thing with this protocol right over here is a lot of times the amount of HCl that you are going to need is going to be a lot higher than you would think. A few years ago, I went for a follow-up colonoscopy, and for those of you who are familiar with me, you know that I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis back in 2010, and I got in remission by myself by incorporating a paleo and keto approach and also using HCl. HCl was one of the big things that helped me to get into remission. When I ended up going for my follow-up colonoscopy, it was 9 years later. My gastroenterologist told me that it had been a while. I was supposed to do it after 5 years, so he wanted to do the follow-up. After my follow-up colonoscopy, I had no issues whatsoever with regard to my digestion for the 9 years prior to that colonoscopy. The day after that follow-up colonoscopy, for 2 months straight, I had diarrhea every single day and it would not go away. So I suspected that I had low HCl levels. I ended up doing Jonathan Wright's protocols, and the amount of HCl that I had to take to get rid of my symptoms was ridiculous. I ended up getting up to 42 capsules per meal. Now, with regard to the actual symptoms, the diarrhea, it dissipated and it went away after I was at about 12 to 14 capsules, but I still did not notice that warm sensation or that mild heartburn feeling in my chest until I got to about 42 capsules. So once I got to 42 capsules, I decreased it to 41, and then I kept decreasing it until I got to 0 capsules. So a lot of people, what would happen is they're going to get very, very worried, and they're going to think, holy crap, this is a lot, I should not be taking this much. But again, it's going to be all in your head. You really need to get over the fear and speak to your doctor, first of all, before you do this, even though your doctor's probably not going to recommend this because they're not going to do this. They're going to end up sending you for some other type of drugs. But generally, you want to make sure that you are doing this under either some type of supervision or you know what you are doing. But for me personally, I got up to an insane amount of capsules, and I was really, really nervous at the time. I was using the Poliquin Group HCl. For that one, it is a 650 milligram dosage of betaine HCl with pepsin. And yeah, 42 capsules every single meal. That is when I started to notice the actual heartburn feeling. So for me, I was at a ridiculous high amount, but again, within a couple of months, everything went back to normal and my digestion has been fine ever since. So for me, it was really, really necessary that I did the HCl protocol. And if you do happen to have some type of autoimmune disease like ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, or if you're experiencing something like bloating, gas, belching, indigestion, heartburn, reflux, GERD, fungal overgrowth, or SIBO, then I would definitely encourage you to try something like the HCl protocol and see if you are producing enough stomach acid. If you are not, this can help to alleviate your symptoms and it can help you get back on the right track and help to improve your health. If the HCl is not the issue, then it can be something else. Maybe stress is causing your symptoms. Maybe it is something like you're not sleeping enough. Maybe you're not drinking enough water. Maybe the foods that you're eating are not right for you. But this is one possibility and one possible solution if you are experiencing any of these symptoms that you are not producing enough stomach acid. But that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask your questions down in the comment section so I could help you guys out. But that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button so I know to keep making these types of videos in the future. And if you're either new to the channel and haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, as I'm going to be uploading new videos every single day. That's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again tomorrow.